In the first set, she was just Rosa. Second set, she stores a Soul Unbound. If you look at her lore cards, it tells you her story as she progresses on the island. Each set, you get a new lore card for that player, and you learn more about them as time goes on.
Awesome. That's what the sets are built upon.
Correct. So, a lot of stories. So that's what we've done some comic books.
Rare question mark?
What's that?
So this would be like the rare, I assume?
So no. So there's 3 rarity levels. So you can see in the back of the box here, it's commons, rares, and noble rares. Commons have a grayish silver logo. The rares are gold, and the noble rares are Kryptik green. We call it. It's kind of like a tealish color.
Okay.
But
interesting.
So in order to help tell the story more, we've got comic books, we have narrative pieces online, and we're actually in the process of making an anime.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We started working with some animators out of the UK. So, did you open your deck? No, you have a pack.
No,
right.
yeah.
So, here.
Right.
That's yours.
Thank you.
So we really try and make sure that everyone has what they need in this game. Our goal with this game was to fix all the problems that we felt were happening with other games.
Is it going to cost like $500 to build a good deck or what?
I had a commander deck in here that cost $1,500. It's actually probably significantly more than that.
Honestly.
Yeah. Which, like, hey, I love it. It's fun for me to have a blinged out deck, but some of those pieces, not even blinged out, right? Like a base level cheapest thing is like a $65 card. Like, so the goal of the wave system was to alleviate that issue. Still have fun things for collectors to chase in every set, but also not make it, prohibitively expensive. So everybody has it. So top 5 cards are going to show you. You got an undead deck, awesome. And then the next cards show you some of the rules. Right? These are just teaching things.
Okay.
Right? Game zones, things like that. But I'll teach you the rest of the rules.
Sure.
And then this is your actual deck. So those can go to the side.
Okay.
So the anatomy of a card. You guys said you play Magic, right?
I played a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not as, good as it.
So if you have played Magic, the base mechanics are similar, but the rules are very different. So you got spells and you've got citizens. All right, spells you play them, they have an effect, they resolve. Right. Citizens are bodies. You put them on the island. They have attack and defense. This is the total cost to play, right? So Imara would cost 2 generic and 2 green, right? This is what she does. She has keywords, abilities. We get into that later. Every card also has this on the bottom left, which is its soul gem, right? That tells you what kind of resource it can produce. So when you have a hand of cards, every card is either
different color will show you what you can play. So like
correct. So if you want to talk about it in Magic terminology, every card is a piece, a game piece, and also a land.
Okay.
So you will never be mana screwed. Right, you'll never be mana screwed, right? So I can cast Soaring Cascade and use its effect, or because it has blue and green that it produces.
Like dual lands.
Exactly, I can put it there and then I can use it to cast a spell, right? So every card is useful. You never draw a card that you can't use to help alleviate the whole, mana screwed.
Yeah.
Screwed on other things, but you're not mana screwed.
And then the other interesting thing that you see on our cards is that every card has a separate little thing down at the bottom that has an hourglass next to it. And that hourglass is called the 11-year cost or the 11-year effect. So the way our game works is you're going to draw your hand, and then after you have your hand, you're going to lay 6 cards out in the 11-year row. These are essentially your shield. You can think of like your health or whatever it is. What they represent is your 66 years on the island. 6 11-year cards, right? They represent your time on the island, the things you've done, things like that. Your opponent has to get past your defender's attack and hit your cards. When they hit it, you flip it up. At that moment, you can either cast it for its 11-year cost or put it in your hand. Right? So attacking your opponent also gives them card advantage. Right. So
you don't know what it's going to be until it's hit, right?
Correct. Although there are some cards that let you peek at your 11-year row, which is very valuable information, right? So this whole concept makes it so it's a risk-benefit calculation whenever you attack your opponent, right? I'm going to attack them so I get closer to winning the game, but I also give them card advantage. So there's a lot of kind of jockeying for position, and I think this game is very easy to learn, very hard to master, right? It's like chess. It's easy to learn the rules of chess.
Yeah.
It's very hard to master because you have to think 3, 4, 5 turns ahead about what your opponent's going to do. If you want to get real sweaty and be on the cutting, the bleeding edge of the game, right?
Yeah.
If you're just trying to have fun with friends, then you can just have a good time.
Okay.
So that's the basic concept.
All right.
So what I'll have you do is shuffle up your deck, and like I
Sure.
said, these are not these are teaching decks, man. So just shuffle them.
Sure.
These are meant to be played with, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm big on the I'll just take I do individual 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
because you're like, well, because God forbid you bend $100 card, right? Like, well, no, I mean, but
Well, see, I'm just doing this
We
anyways.
do have $100 cards. I mean, every card in that thing is expensive as shit.
Really?
Yeah, but like, you know, so like if I like my constructed deck, I have a couple of like, you know, $100-something cards or whatever. And my constructed deck, I'm not gonna riffle shuffle, you know. But like,
Makes sense. With this?
Yeah.
these are for learning.
I was gonna say I still do it anyways because I don't like to bend my cards, but that's just me.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know.
I played a ton of Ascension too, if you ever played that. It's like similar, it's like a deck builder versus an actual...
Yeah, I think I've played versions of it, if not it.
I like to hear that.
So you draw to 6,
Okay.
right, and then you look at your hand. You can mulligan, right, which means it's different in our game than it is in Magic. So mulliganing in our game, you can just get the cards you don't want out of your hand, draw back up to a full hand size, and then shuffle your deck.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. Are you guys familiar with her?
Yeah, Tanner came. I work at CC. Tanner came.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Nice, nice.
I'm Connor. I'm Tanner's business partner. I own the other half of the business.
Oh, hi.
It's nice to meet you. You work with CGC?
Yeah, I'm a grader.
Oh, awesome. I love it.
He came and showed us how to play.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're actually. They're gonna try and stop at CGC in like 3 or 4 weeks because we're gonna be in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do, please
He
do.
was gonna stop by.
Come by.
I actually sent a couple cards with him. A couple of the characters are based on my daughters and my wife. I was like, can you get these slabbed up for me while you're there?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, maybe you can grade them for me.
Yes,
But
that'd be so cool.
have you guys had a chance to play a game yet?
Yeah, we played. I played in like a little mini tournament thing. that we
Yeah?
had There.
If you've already learned how to play, here, who's your favorite faction? Human, Mystic, Undead, or Ascendant?
Undead. That's what I was trying to think of. I was like,
There you go.
ghost, not the ghost.
Have fun with
What
that.
is it called?
Do you play?
I've never played. Shark people.
If you hang out,
Yeah, I
if
like
you hang
to-
out and watch us learn how to play, you can walk away with a starter deck. Does that sound good? Also, if you follow the social medias or whatever that stuff is, you can take one of these and come back at either 1 o'clock or at 4 o'clock. We're doing raffles for playmats and starter decks.
Oh, cool.
If you don't want to stand around, because I get it, not everyone wants to stand around. You know, just scan the QR thing and follow the stuff.
Play with it. I'm not gonna jump in the morning.
Yeah, so hang out, learn how to play. We're just starting a game. Actually. All right. So, sorry about that. So
No worries.
we got you got your hand. I'll keep this hand. This is fine.
I don't know what I'm working with, so I'm probably just gonna keep it.
too.
Yeah.
Perfect. So then take your next 6 cards off the top of your deck, deal them out face down. Do not look at them in your 11-year row.
Oh. 6. Okay.
We were out first. No, kidding. Kidding. I don't. But Lorcana has some similar systems, yeah.
It's just that he knows how to play that, so I'm just trying to compare to something that he's played.
I actually haven't.
I know Kryptik was around first.
Yeah. I'm joking. I don't care. But no, I haven't had a chance to play Lorcana yet. I really want to, but I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you
I just,
played it yet?
no, not yet.
It
No.
looks like it could be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, it's
I just haven't actually buckled down with it yet, so.
All right.
Cool artwork wise.
So normally you decide who goes first, however you want to do it. Rock, paper, scissors, flip a coin, whatever you want. And then for the purposes of teaching, I'll go first, right?
Yeah.
So you can see how I do it. So I'm going to take this spell, I'm going to put it in my soul row, all right? And then I will engage it to play 1 blue, to play Ayla, Mystic Citizen. She's a 3/3. Her abilities, I can abolish her, which means take her out of the game, right? So sending someone to limbo is like a graveyard in Magic. Abolish is like banishing. It's out of the game.
Okay.
I can abolish her and pay 3 to prevent all combat damage that's dealt this turn. Okay? Citizens cannot attack the same turn that they're played, so I passed you.
Okay.
So you, correct. So you draw a card.
Okay.
And you put something down in your soul row, so you have some gas in the tank, and then hopefully you have a 1-drop.
All right, so I'm gonna put. Now, if it's half gray and half, if it's like that,
So what that is that's 3 pips, right? So it's 1 generic. So
Right.
the gray means any color.
Okay.
1 green and 1 black. So he
Okay.
costs 3, but you have to have those proper colors to play in.
Okay, gotcha.
I think you would like this day.
I'm playing a Mystic deck right now.
Okay.
I'm biased. I like Ascendant, but you know, you can't pick your favorite. You can't pick favorites among your children, right?
Yeah.
Can I play him?
So he costs 2.
Okay.
So the first thing you need to do is you need to pick a card that you want to put in your soul row to get some.
My understanding is something on the bottom right's gonna have different colors.
Yep.
And you pick one of those first, put it down so you can play stuff.
Okay. Playing that one? Okay.
So if you put him down in the soul. Oh, so okay. So he costs 1, right?
Yeah.
So in order to play him, you need to pay 1. So in order to get resources, so let's play open hand so you can.
Yeah, that'd be.
So Rolf is he can be engaged for a black or a green, right?
Right.
So he's valuable for you to have in your soul row because he's kind of like a dual land, right?
Right.
You engage him, pay 1 green for Juno. That's your
Okay,
turn,
gotcha.
right?
All right, I get it.
Let's play open hand so we can all
Yeah,
learn, right? So next comes to my turn. Disengage your cards. Draw a card, right? So now I'm at a point where I've got a 1-drop on the field. I've got a bunch of 3 costs. You know, I can't play anything right now because the best I can do is to put a card down in my soul row and pass. That's not necessarily a problem. So this is a 3-2. I could attack, but you have 5 defense and 3 attack. I would just bounce and you'd kill my citizen. Not worth it. So I'd pass to you.
Okay, so then I draw.
You draw a card.
Disengage.
Correct.
Okay.
And so in the soul row, it's easier to keep them that way. That way you
Okay.
know what they engage for.
Sure. All right.
So why don't you lay your hand down here and we'll go over it, right?
Sure. That works.
So we've got a 3-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 3-drop. Okay, so middling miniature. So this turn you can play him because you will have ramped up to 2, right? So
Sure.
I would find something that is a duel if possible, right? So you can do a Corbin there, right?
Okay.
And then now you have enough to pay for Vidar. Now it's similar to Magic. You have a main phase, a combat phase, and then a second main phase. So most of the time it's better to put your spells down, or cast your citizens on your second main phase. Like Magic, right? Because then you gain more information during combat. But we're just doing a simple. So when Vidar dies, you may return another target non-human citizen, so you're an undead deck, you'll be fine, with a total soul cost, so converted mana cost, of 3 or less to your hand from your limbo pile, which is your graveyard. Short time 3, you may return another target citizen with any total soul cost instead. So he can be very valuable. Short time, what that is it's incentive to attack your opponents, right? So short time 3 means that if I have 3 or less 11-year cards left, I'm on short time, right?
Okay.
So there's short time 4 or 5, it tells you how whatever number. You're shortening the length of time I have left on the island, right? So if I'm on short time, you gain beneficial effects.
Let's say you win. I put your time to 0. I beat you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, put my time to 0 and then hit me once directly, and then
Okay.
it's over. Right? She's gotten past my shields, right? My 11 years, my 66 years are up, and you end it, right?
Gotcha.
So you can kind of think about this like it's like your judgment, right? The citizens you're playing, the spells you're playing, things you did, people you interact with on the island, you're facing judgment right now.
Gotcha.
So think of it like that, right? 'Cause, you know, we're the lore guys, we have to have some fun, you know,
Yeah.
adding the flavor to it.
Yeah. Right.
So at this point, you've got a 3/5. You can attack me pretty much without recourse. Because if I block you, I lose a citizen and you don't, or I get hit by a card. Or I get hit and you take one of my shields out. However, that does give me card advantage. So depending on your particular deck's strategy, some decks are control decks and they want to sit back and control the board and not give your opponent card advantage. Some decks want to just hit hard, hit fast, end the game.
Different
Right.
factions will have different
Yeah.
strategies.
Correct. Different factions have different strategies. The undead strategy revolves a lot around limbo recursion, bringing people back from the dead so that
Makes
you just
sense.
have bodies on the field all the time.
Makes sense.
It's actually it's more of a mid-range kind of strategy, right? Because you can be more aggressive, you can be less aggressive. The idea is you need to set up your engine, mill yourself into your limbo pile, and then just keep doing it that
More
way.
aggressive might be beneficial.
Yeah,
because you just
then
kind
I
of kill
just
it off.
Right.
Ambush,
Mystic
come back.
decks tend to lean more control, right? There's spells. Spells cost resources. They can be expensive. There's card draw. A Mystic deck wants to sit back more and
Counter.
and just gather resources until I have enough that I can take you out, right? Like any other card game. There's aggro, mid-range, and control. Mystic tends to fall more control, although there are aggro Mystic decks. And any archetype can be built any way, right? But just generally in their effects, they tend to fall more into certain archetypes, and usually more mid.
Okay.
So if I were you, I'd attack with Juno.
Okay. I'll attack with Gina.
So when you attack with Juno, you engage your card,
Right.
and you don't attack a citizen. You don't attack me. You attack an 11-year. You
Okay.
pick which one, because it can matter.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Okay.
Pick your poison.
I'm gonna start with that end. Yep.
Okay. So I flip it up. Perfect example. This is a 3-cost citizen, right? But when it gets flipped over in the 11-year row, there's the 11-year cost that we talked about, right? Which for most citizens is its CMC -1. Right. I could not play anything last turn. I have 2 open soul. So I play it right out of my 11-year row, which is like, oh no, this is a dangerous thing for you, right? Because now I have equal bodies to you, and I went first, so I can have another body ahead of you next turn. So that's the concept